Back to AM Buffalo and Pet Talk Tuesday, and Addie.
Yep.
Yes, okay, I'm just gonna step out of the way because the star is here. And of course, she brought along her daddy, Dr. Lucas Candiver.
Insisted I come.
And while you're here, can you talk to us about, of course, our pets in the holidays, because we're quickly coming upon them.
Yeah, we do see, unfortunately, as a veterinary clinic, we see a lot more cases of different issues, dogs getting into things they shouldn't have, cats being exposed to things that are toxic.
Right.
Really, unfortunately, common things that happen as we get into the holidays. There's a lot of food around, and you leave some out, and your dog goes onto the table.
Addie doesn't do that.
Addie actually does not do that. Outside of here, apparently, she wants to know what's on this table, but at home, she's pretty darn good.
Oh, Addie, we love it.
Now, we have a family dog, Charlie, in Medina. Now, is there a way for family, when everybody's there, all the food is around the table, to say, okay, this is what Charlie can have, this is what Charlie can't have? Is there a way for someone with a pet to protect their pet? Because the kids are trying to give the dogs treats or cats or whatever. Is there a way to protect your pet?
Don't have your family over. No, it's usually a lot easier to train your dog than it is to train your
It's
your
so
family
true,
members. So-
right?
Yeah.
Because we
Everyone wants
derive
to-
so much pleasure from seeing them
Yeah.
eat, but in reality, it's not the best
There's
thing.
a lot of
right?
pets that have sensitivities that are, can be really problematic, and
Yeah.
making sure your family knows that, we don't give our dog table scraps, and it's easy to say we don't give it versus it will make them sick. So if you let them know that it will be harmful to your pet, a lot of people take that much more serious than just, I don't want you to feed my dog off the table, because it's easy to slide
just be
something under the
upfront.
table. Be upfront, say, my dog has gastrointestinal issues, my dog has problems when they get this, and we've had a lot of friends come over to ours, and every day, the next day, she was having some GI problems.
Yeah.
So I said, hey guys, just so you know, this is not okay. And I don't see them giving a lot, but it just doesn't take much for some dogs, because they get the same food every day.
Right.
It's new, it's fatty, it's salty.
Right.
That's what tends to cause a lot of these
And
problems.
it can make for a mess, so you want to avoid that for
You
sure.
don't want the next day when you're already cleaning up to have to clean up extra stuff.
Right, exactly. Oh, another thing is, you notice you have a lot more things that look like toys to dogs around this time of year, right? With all your decorations. I know that my dogs will sometimes pick up things that I put out decoration-wise, like little stuffed animals that are really just for decoration. I'm like, that's not yours. And they're not built for dogs.
No.
And so it can get kind of tricky, especially cats. They love to take the little tassels and like rip them off
That's
things.
usually the biggest problem, is ribbons and strings and things like that for our cats. They love to play with them. They love to play with plastic, and they will sometimes ingest it. So, it's really a matter of, when you have a very young pet, you learn through
Yeah.
trial and error. But when you know your pet is likely to eat things, we just need to be extra vigilant. And yes, it's easy to make a mistake and just not recognize that there's a problem. But if you start to see your pet having GI issues, if you see that suddenly something's not quite right, then getting into something is always that potential for what happened.
You know what? I love having you on. You actually have an event to talk about for folks who are into the idea of becoming a veterinary professional, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
For our young folks out there, if you're a parent or a grandparent, you might want to share this with your young people in your family. Tell us about it.
So 14 to 21 are the age, and it's basically a young veterinary explorer program. So you don't have to necessarily want to be a veterinarian, but a veterinary technician or an animal
Love animals.
science, something that says, I want to know more. It's taught by some really fabulous veterinarians in the area. They do some day trips to the zoo or to cow farm, or just different areas to say, get some experience, get some exposure, and just make sure, there's a lot of different lecture topics, so you learn an awful lot. I think it's only about $45 to register.
Where-
And there is an information seminar, I believe, this Wednesday.
Oh, perfect.
And it's at Madai.
And where can they get more
If
information?
you go to the Niagara Frontier Veterinary Society website, you can get a lot of information about it.
Dr. Lucas Candiver, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate
Happy
you.
to be
Thank
here.
you.
Thanks for having
And
us.
Addie, of course, thank you for being on our show. Look how comfortable she
She's
is.
worn out from being so pretty all the time.
We're
It's
gonna
exhausting. I know you guys probably deal with it too.
we're gonna enjoy her during the break. We'll be right back.